Hold on a minute. Don't you think we ought to talk?
What, about how I'm gonna run? Sure.
About how you've managed to live as long as you have.
Think you can drive?
Oh, he can drive. He can drive beyond the limits of the tires, the engine, the car, anything else.
There's nothing I can't do with a race car.
Well, that's the difference between you and me. There's only so much I can do.
You want me to work the pig and you drive? You run good? Thank you. And we'll see how you do in the crowd. He's desperate to get your attention.
Well, you got it. I walked into a jungle.
Come up here and do it. I'll take you to a race.
Really, I can't. I'm a doctor. I'm cold.
Think your driving can improve?
I'll take your word for what a car can do, but I'm not taking anybody's word for what I can do.
I don't want you to hold a bad opinion of Cole. I believe it scares him. He needs reassurance from you that he's okay. After all,
How could you ignore me like that? I wasn't ignoring you.
you're his doctor. See, a driver gets his bell rung and a couple of lights flicker. And loses what he needs more than his eyesight, more than his reflexes, more than anything in the world.
I've raced with my legs broke, heart bruised, eyes popping out of my head like they're on springs.
He loses his need. The need to drive right out there on the ragged edge.
He doesn't believe you can drive anymore.
How long before you find out if you're really good?
You just want to race again.
Or you're really lucky?
You get back in that car, you'll die.
Days of Thunder is a NASCAR-themed sports drama movie that was released on June 27th, 1990. This is the second Tom Cruise-led movie that I have reviewed. The first one was Top Gun. Is this one good or bad? Let's find out as always by starting with the story. The story follows Harry Hage, I think that's his name, a legendary crew chief for NASCAR, who one day has an open wheels driver named Cole Trickle show up at Harry's racetrack. After some convincing, Harry lets Cole prove himself as a race car driver. Cole's career pretty much starts from there, and it's about the triumph and trials of it. Believe it or not, I actually think this is a fucking good story. As you may know, I'm not the biggest fan of sports movies, and I've made it pretty clear on this channel. However, one of the things that makes this story good is the tone. The tone of this movie almost doesn't even feel like a sports movie. The movie has more of an action thriller type tone to it. One reviewer basically said it's basically Top Gun with NASCAR. I honestly don't care, because I fucking love Top Gun. Also, while I may not be a sports fan, I have grown to appreciate race car driving. Speed Racer kind of helped me do that. So I'm at the point where I can really enjoy this fucking movie. Another aspect of the story that I like is the fact that it manages to incorporate some of the pleasures in life, like chilling and having a beer, and even a prank which involves a woman disguised as a police officer saying that Cole's cock is a concealed weapon. You know, I remember that scene and thought it was so goddamn good. As for the character of Cole himself, I honestly went into this movie expecting to hate him and think he's just such an arrogant bastard, but I ended up really loving his character. I mean, yeah, he's a bit arrogant, but it's never to the point of being unlikable. He's not that bastard Alvin. As a matter of fact, he asked for inspiration from Harry in one scene, not out of spite, but out of genuine interest in the task he has at hand. Because he is really out of ideas at that moment. I think he also really looks up to Harry, because he is the man that practically gave him a career. I think his love for race car driving felt really fucking genuine. Now, the sports movie cliches were the other thing I was really worried about this movie doing. But honestly, they were done better than I thought they would be, or avoided completely. Let me explain the latter. When Cole deliberately crashes into another racer, I thought they were going to do what every other fucking sports movie would do. And that is go into a scene where Cole gets kicked off and everyone sees him as a goddamn jerk. But that's not really what they did. In fact, you could argue that the other driver was in the wrong, because that driver did kind of act like a jerk. Yeah, there were some people that mentioned the situation, but the movie doesn't really tell you if Cole was right or wrong when doing that. It lets the audience decide for themselves. I've yet to see any other fucking sports movie take that angle. In fact, the movie takes that angle in pretty much everything Cole does. But I have to say the only action of Cole I would say he really had no justification for doing is when he drives extremely recklessly with his lover, a nurse named Claire, out of frustration. He almost got himself and her killed, and got frustrated for largely no reason. But then again, I'm sure when I watch the movie again, I might find it understandable, or still as a moment where he takes his anger and recklessness a little too far. But this gradually leads to a scene that is really fucking good. That scene is the scene where Cole tries to convince Harry, who has given up on NASCAR, to be his crew chief for the next race. It could have been really goddamn corny, but I remember it being so well written and acted that it's anything but corny. What's amazing is that he's basically admitting that car racing is his entire life, and he is nothing without it. Yet, I somehow understood what he was feeling at that moment. I think deep down, he knows that you don't know what you've got until it's gone. At that moment, he is starting to realize what he's got, and he is worried that it will be gone forever. The fact that Harry and even Claire start to understand his struggle speaks to how well thought out his case was made. I can't be the only one who started to care about Cole at this moment. While everything I've mentioned is really strong, I even kind of dig the race car scenes as well. Cole races in cars with multiple colors, and the races are pretty goddamn exciting. Whatever you watch NASCAR for, I think you will get plenty of what you're looking for. There's also nothing more fucking satisfying than Cole finally winning a race. This is an unconventional underdog story that has all the complexity and thrills that I can't get enough of. Now, as for the production values, the cinematography, editing, sound, and set decoration are all pretty strong. The music was actually composed by Hans Zimmer, but it's very different from his other work. It has more of a 90s synthwave sound that is not what I expected, but still pretty decent. Overall, Days of Thunder is actually a pretty good movie. Now, I won't say it's as good as Top Gun, but honestly, there are times when it comes close. It has all the color-coded cars and racing of a race car movie, and the excitement, complexity, and even titillation of an action thriller. If you have not seen this movie, I recommend at least watching it to form your own conclusion. But I know for damn sure I enjoyed it. I give Days of Thunder 4 out of 5 stars, with the title of Awesome. Anyway, I'm Spike Robot. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, and take it easy. Honor the freedom jingos.